You can upgrade your Illithid powers when you face a character named Nere. The psionic backlash is really nice, as it reacts to any spells that are cast within the area. Charm is really nice too, as it prevents any enemy from attacking you again for one turn. So in order to find Nere, you need to go to the Underdark, and there's several ways that you can do that. The way I'm going to show you here is through the Goblin camp. Snatch up the Mark of the Absolute for all of your companions if you can, as there's nothing negative associated with it, and can pass some dialogue option checks with it, as well as using some unique weapons and accessories. When you try to ask her to heal you from the parasite, she'll try to peer into your mind, and if you block her out, it'll just end as that. If you let her look into your mind, she'll end up poisoning you, and you'll end up in her little prison cell down beneath. You can break free with a dice roll. If you don't, apparently someone will come and assassinate the priestess. If you break free, she'll notice immediately, and she'll have this giant ogre woman come and attack you. At that point, you should switch to your other companions and have them go through the 2 doors. You'd have to lockpick them, but once you get through those doors though, you're able to give your hero some backup. Once you take them both out, make your way a little further through her prison dungeon, and if you have a high enough perception, you'll notice a little crack through the wall on your way through. In order to get through the crack, you can use the Mist Form spell, or you can change into a little gnome. And if you haven't picked it up already, there's this helm inside of your camp storage that lets you change into any form. Inside is an area that's being guarded by a few gnomes outside, so you want to exit out the way you came in from. But within there is a clue to the puzzle that will lead you into the Underdark, as well as a chest that has like 260 gold in there. Come back out of there and proceed a little further into the prison dungeon. Eventually you'll make your way into a little puzzle room, and the clue is in that room that we were previously on that shows you that the last circle on the bottom would be all the black circles. Once you have all the black circles on the highlighted panel, it'll open up a area that lets you into the Underdark. There's a few different ways into the Underdark, but I found one other way so far, and it's through the Blighted Village as well. Once you make it to the Queen Spider there's a giant hole in the floor, and you just jump through that giant hole. But you do have to have the Flight of Feathers spell, otherwise you'll just die. Once in the Underdark, you want to make your way north into the Mushroom Man colony, and they want you to take out the Dweger group, as they're their enemies in the Underdark. Head south from there, and eventually you'll reach the Underdark Beach. Once there, you can persuade them not to attack you, and they'll get you to try to take out the Mushroom Men. They mention that one of the slave gnomes has stolen the sergeant's boots, and that gnome will just give them to you willingly, so you don't have to be evil and steal them off of her feet. Hop on one of the boats and proceed further on. You'll have the opportunity to make another persuasion check, as there is another group that comes up to you while you're traveling on the boat. I recommend just doing all the persuasion checks and just being friendly to everyone in the start, as when I got to the Grim Forge, it gave me an achievement as like befriending everyone or something. Then after that, you can just decide who you want to kill. I ended up siding with the Mushroom Men though, and before you kill Nere, you do want to take out these guys that were in the first part of the Underdark, and these guys in the start, and then go back to the Mushroom Man, as he'll give you a quest to take out Nere after that, and I wasn't aware of that he wanted Nere dead after that, and I ended up letting Nere actually go on the first go. So I replayed the Nere fight like 4 times. One time he just like bugged out. So you'll meet Brithar that isn't happy with Nere the Absolute, as he says he owes him a bunch of money. And what I did was I teamed up with him to help me take out Nere, and then I ended up taking out him too, as him and his group end up having some pretty good items and armor as well. He wants you to take out the eye stealthily though, and I just ended up like hitting it with a bow from the top balcony there, and someone kind of noticed and they just ran off, so it wasn't the stealthiest kill, but I guess it was good enough for him. When you have the option to return the boots, I recommend just keeping them, as it's better than the reward, unless she drops them when you kill her, or if you plan to kill her, then it'd make it worth it to turn the boots in and then grab them off of her dead body. So you gotta drop a bomb near the rubble in order to clear it out of the way, and then hit it with some ignition source. Initially I dropped, I guess, the wrong kind of bomb there. It only took it down like halfway. Then I used the smoke powder bomb, which is the one that they were recommending, and I ended up having 3 there. I ended up dropping all 3 accidentally and just blew them all up. But I know I definitely found one where I found the gnome on the windmill underneath the little basement there, and that was located in the Blighted Village. So speaking of the gnome in the Blighted Village on the windmill, that's one of the reasons why I replayed this a few times, as the first time I ended up just having him take out all of the other slaves, as you can then have him kill the sergeant and just take out one extra person that you would have to deal with. But one of those slaves had something unique on him when he died, and that made me realize that that was the gnome that I had saved not too long ago in the Blighted Village off of the windmill from dying. If you save him here, he'll join you in your camp, and it seems like everyone that joins you in your camp seems to be pretty useful. Like I was mentioning before, you should take out the Dwagers and then report back to the Mushroom Men. Otherwise, you'll have to kill Nere and then run back to his dead body to collect his head. And you'll be able to unlock these powers whether you join him or not. You just have to either side with him or kill him. If you have a Astarian in your group, he'll want to talk to you immediately after this, as he's just as power hungry as I am. And he'll get upset if you tell him that they're only for you.
So, you've indulged. Just helped yourself to a little more power, I see.
There's a few nice helms in here as well. One is off of a dead body, and another one's laying on the table. The devil foil mask is pretty unique looking, as well as having a feature to be able to craft some unique items further on in the game. So based on how many tadpoles you found throughout the game is how many powers you can unlock, and you can gather those off of other dead hosts usually. So definitely check all of the dead bodies, as that's where they're most likely to be.
Well, you did it! I shouldn't be surprised, considering our history. Fine. Show me where to go, and I'll try my luck. I'll have a better chance of rescuing Wulbrin if I'm at my best.
I recall there being one in the Emerald Grove as well, as like a specimen on the table. There are some tier 3 abilities that are locked, but you don't get to unlock those until Act 3, which is the last act of the game, so it's quite a ways away. Karlach and Lizelle don't want to have anything to do with this, so you can't implant them into their brains. You should definitely think about going for the concentrated blast route if you're a magic caster, and that will lead into Psionic Backlash, which is really good as it's a counterattack for any spells in the area. Call the Weak is really nice too, as if you bring a creature down to fewer hit points than the abilities that you have here, then they'll just instantly explode. And that's really nice, as there's been quite a few times where I get the enemy down to just a few hit points, and I have to waste a whole nother full attack on them just to kill them. Then I went with Favorable Beginnings, as that's another passive ability, and that leads into the Charm ability, which is yet another passive ability. I like the passive abilities, as you can just use them all the time, and all the other ones you have to cast, and a lot of the other ones are pretty similar to some of the spells you already have. That wraps it up on how to get the Illithid powers and how to get to the Underdark. If you liked the video and it helps you out, appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe. Take it easy, be well, and I'll catch you on the next one.